Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Media once again. Welcome back to another double movie review, aka After I Saw. I'm doing another double movie review because I just want to get these reviews out of the way because, I have a couple video games that I'm really, really looking forward to reviewing for you guys, so which is why I'm doing both of these movies at once. First movie I'm going to be talking about is Ad Astra. So, astronaut Roy McBride, played by Brad Pitt, undertakes a mission across an unforgiving solar system to uncover the truth about his missing father, who's played by Tommy Lee Jones, and his doomed expedition that now, 30 years later, threatens the universe. Now, when it comes to movies like this, I really like space movies. I think they're absolutely intriguing. I think for the most part, they manage to tell a good story and manages to be emotionally investing, and that's what this movie is trying to be. And for the most part, it works. Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones are terrific in this movie, as well as Donald Sutherland. It has a really good cast of characters, although some of the other characters really didn't interest me that much. I was mostly interested in Brad Pitt's character, and that's what the movie basically focuses on. What really surprised me is that, sometimes it kind of feels like Star Wars a little bit. And what I mean by that is, there's violence in the movie, although they don't use lightsabers or anything like that. They use basically like space guns. And this movie, I want to say, takes place during the future because they treat the moon like if it were someplace where you can take a vacation. As they travel to the moon, and they're like, "Welcome to the moon," and there's like a big building on the moon, and I'm like, okay, this has to take place in the future because this would never happen in real life because there's no oxygen on the moon, and some people don't even wear spacesuits on the moon, and they're inside, and I'm not really sure how that entirely works, which kind of took away from the movie as it did get a little bit ridiculous when that happened. That's not to say that the movie is completely ridiculous. No, it is a very serious film. There are moments with Brad Pitt, and when he does get to see his father, there was some stuff that he does that his father has done in the past, but he tries managing to get through them, and this might be a spoiler, but, for the most part, this is kind of a divisive film. There have been a lot of divisive movies coming out this year, and I think this is definitely one of them. Now, the movie, of course, it's visually stunning. I think one of the most visually stunning parts of the movie, which was in the trailer, is, of course, when they're up in that tower that goes into space and Brad Pitt is falling. That was one of the best looking scenes I've seen all year. And, of course, it leads to his terrific performance. And as, there are some people that do die, and there are some disturbing moments. But, I didn't really care because most of the characters were just dull. But, with Brad Pitt's terrific performance as well as Tommy Lee Jones, and it's visually stunning, and it's not too long, it's not very boring, it's interesting enough, and it's emotionally investing enough, it still manages to be an enjoyable film. Tiny's licking herself in the background. While this movie definitely isn't the next Gravity or The Martian, it's not as good as First Man, and I think I enjoy Interstellar a bit more than this. But all in all, it manages to get its job done, and it was, for the most part, what I was hoping for it to be. I'm going to give Ad Astra a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, I really wanted to give it a higher score, but, it kind of disappointed me for the most part, it sort of disappointed me, but all in all, for the most part, I was intrigued by this movie just enough, and it manages to go by pretty fast. So, all in all, I had a good time with the movie. Alright, next movie I want to talk about is Downton Abbey. And this is the continuing story of the Crawley family, wealthy owners of a large estate in the English countryside in the early 20th century. And this film is based off a TV series of the same name that my grandma likes to watch a lot. And, it's kind of a big series, actually. In fact, I know nothing about the series whatsoever, so if you hear me talk about, oh, I didn't like that, or anything like that, just so you know, I know nothing about the show. So why did I see this movie? Because the trailer interested me enough, so I wanted to check it out. And so basically, I'm judging this as a film and not something based off something. Performances, incredible. It's visually stunning. The costume design is it's absolutely excellent. It's about 2 hours and 2 minutes long. If you're a fan of the show, you're going to be really intrigued, which will make the film go by pretty fast. It did, although the movie for me, it kind of dragged on a bit because I know nothing about the show. I never knew about the characters. I don't even know these are the same actors. They might be. So if you tell me in the comments, no, that's not the same actors. What's wrong with you? It's just because I haven't seen the show before. I have heard of it. I kind of forgot this was based off a show, but it does. This definitely had to be based off the show, and it is. And for the most part, terrific performances, and there is an aspect of the movie that I was really interested in, given that the fact that this is a PG rated movie. They've gotten away with this sort of aspect, which I'm not gonna entirely spoil. They kind of did in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, then you're kind of know what I'm gonna be talking about. Unless I'm not sure if this happened in the TV show. Like I said, I never watched the TV show, but as a movie itself, I was intrigued by it. But if here's the thing though, I don't feel like this was a movie made for me. It's definitely made for a more mature, older audience, especially ones who enjoyed the show. If you're a big fan of the show, you're going to enjoy this movie a lot. All right. If you're not a fan of the show, you might still enjoy it. But as for someone who isn't a fan of the show, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I didn't love it. But for the most part, I was intrigued with the movie. Everybody does a great job in the movie, and there was an aspect of the movie that I found really intriguing. There were other aspects I found intriguing enough, but, sometimes the movie did drag on just a little bit. I liked how it focused on not just one couple, but multiple couples, so that's one thing that I think the show might be known for. But, for the most part, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm going to give Downton Abbey a 3.5 out of 5 as well. So yeah, two pretty good movies. Not great movies, but all in all, I thought this was a pretty good movie weekend. I didn't hate Rambo Last Blood. I definitely like these two movies more than that, but all in all, it was a good movie weekend, and I had a good birthday weekend as well. I got to meet and if you guys knew me back then, I had some other people. I had some old friends that made videos with me. I got to meet them again 3 years later, which I haven't seen. So it was a big surprise to see them during my birthday, which was really great. So, I had a great birthday weekend. And that's what really mattered most to me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.